All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're building your personal toolkit, your secret weapon, really, for landing what is, without a doubt, one of the hottest jobs in tech, the LLM engineer. We're going to take that entire interview process, which can feel like a total black box, right? And we're going to turn it into a clear, conquerable map.
This isn't just some bold statement. It's the reality. The work that LLM engineers are doing today is literally shaping the future of how all of us interact with information, with education, even with commerce, for decades to come.
And yeah, the architects of this new internet, they're definitely being compensated for it. This figure, $350,000, that's the high end of the salary range in the US. It's a massive signal of the immense value companies are placing on this exact skill set right now.
Okay, so the opportunity is huge. We get that. But the real question is, how do you actually break in? How do you prove you're the one they need to hire? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break that down for you step by step.
So first things first, let's get a really clear picture of the global opportunity here. Because, understanding the landscape is the absolute first step to navigating it successfully. Let's talk numbers for a second. As you can see right here, the average salary for an LLM engineer is incredibly competitive across the board. We're talking the US, the UK, India, you name it. This isn't some temporary bubble. It's a clear reflection of the intense global demand for this very specific expertise.
Okay, so you're sold on the opportunity. Now let's map out the actual path. See, the interview process isn't just one conversation. It's more like a gauntlet, a series of trials, really, designed to test your skills from every single angle.
And this right here, this is that path. It's a comprehensive, 8-stage process for a reason. Companies need to know you're not just a theorist. They need to see your fundamentals, your problem-solving approach, your ability to design large-scale systems, and even your leadership potential. I know it might seem like a lot, but with a clear map like this, it becomes totally manageable.
Now, to conquer that gauntlet, you're going to need the right tools. So this section is all about building out your core technical knowledge, the absolute foundation for everything that's going to follow.
Okay, let's dive in. Notice the skills highlighted here. These are the non-negotiables. But it's about so much more than just definitions. For instance, knowing what a KV cache is isn't enough. You need to be able to explain why it's critical for making inference faster and cheaper. And RAG systems? They're the key to fighting model hallucination by grounding responses in real verifiable data. This is what interviewers are listening for. Not just what you know, but that you understand why it truly matters.
And let's talk fine-tuning for a second. You won't just be asked what these techniques are, but when and why you'd choose one over another. For example, why would you use LoRA if you're training on a single small GPU? Or when is QLoRA the perfect choice for hardware with low VRAM? Answering these kinds of questions well shows practical, real-world engineering judgment. And believe me, that's what's going to set you apart.
So, you've got the knowledge. Now it's time to learn how to communicate it effectively. This is all about strategy, turning what you know into clear, compelling answers that are going to genuinely impress your interviewers. Okay, you're in the hot seat, and they hit you with a fundamental concept question. This is a classic, and how you structure your answer is a huge test of your communication skills.
And here's the core of a really strong answer. You don't just ramble. You start by defining RAG. You explain its purpose, which is to ground the LLM in factual external data, and you mention key components, like a vector database. This shows a clear, structured understanding of a pretty complex system. It's clean.
Okay, next up, they're going to scale up the complexity. They don't just want definitions anymore. They want you to build something. A system design question like this is your chance to really think like an architect and showcase your end-to-end vision. This framework right here is your secret weapon. Instead of panicking, you just calmly walk them through these 8 steps. It proves to the interviewer that you are a structured thinker who considers the entire life cycle, from clarifying requirements and picking a model, all the way to those crucial production concerns like monitoring, scalability, and of course, cost. But look, it's not all about theory. They need to know if you can solve messy, real-world problems. This kind of behavioral question is designed to test your technical depth, your problem-solving process, and your communication skills all at once.
So, the crucial point is this. You don't just tell a story. You prove your value by using the STAR method. Set the situation, explain your specific task, detail the actions you took, and, this is the most important part, quantify the result with hard metrics. Did you reduce hallucinations by 30%? Did you improve user trust scores? Trust me, numbers speak way louder than words.
All right, we've covered the what and the how. Now let's put it all together into an actionable plan. This is your blueprint for that final push that gets you across the finish line.
You know, before you even get an interview, you have to get past the first gatekeeper, the recruiter's search algorithm. Your resume needs to be packed with the exact terms they're looking for. Think of these keywords not as buzzwords, but as signals that you speak the language and you have the core skills for the role.
I know this might seem like a lot to cover, but it's totally manageable with a smart plan. This 21-day schedule isn't just a to-do list. It's a focused training regimen. It builds your knowledge logically, from fundamentals like transformers to complex RAG systems, then system design. And it all culminates in the single most important step, mock interviews, to put it all into practice.
As we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one final thought. You're not just applying to build another piece of software. You're applying to build systems that think, that can reason, and that interact with the world in completely new ways.
That is the true scale of this opportunity. With this toolkit, you now have the map. So the only question left is the one right here on the screen. The real question is, what will you build?